Oh, sing, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets regular, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave for the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Welcome to Homeland Heroes Salute Podcast with your hosts, Doug Macedo and Jim Roberg.
Welcome everybody. Welcome to another episode. I'm your host, Doug, and today we've got a special guest with us. We have Sarah with Waypoint. Before we get into getting her to go into her background and who she is and what she does, she's an amazing individual. But before we get into that, I want to say thank you to our last guest. We really appreciate you coming on. That was actually, we had Malachi Gasson, who was the last guest. So I appreciate you coming on. I know you're probably listening to this and watching it, and thanks for singing those three songs for us. So I appreciate it, and look forward to seeing you again. But I also want to say a big thank you, shout out to all of our sponsors and our donors. Again, without you guys, we wouldn't be able to do what we do and be able to give back to the veterans. Again, also a big shout out to Homeland Heroes Foundation, Julie Weymouth, with her be able to also help us with the on the water with the veterans. We ended up taking I think it was 18 veterans out deep sea fishing out of New Hampshire. We fed them lunch, everything. We had a great time. So thank you, Julie, on helping us out with paying for those extra 8 veterans to get them out on the water. And so thank you. But a big shout out to our sponsors: Veteran Development Corporation. We've got Reed's Archery down in Middleborough. We have Larry from Larry's Landscape Supplies. We have Harbor Freight. Thank you. We really appreciate it. We have Standard Auto Wrecking in Worcester, Massachusetts. We have the Worcester Woo Sox, which is the affiliate of the Boston Red Sox, with giving us the tickets and getting the veterans out there on the field and be able to do that stuff. We also have New England Blue Collar Printing for taking care of us on their Veterans Track Day for Veterans t-shirts this year. And then also shout out to Big Belly's Cafe in Webster, Massachusetts. Thank you, Wendy. If you're looking for a good breakfast place before you go to Indian Ranch, stop in over at Big Belly. She has the it's a what they call the kitchen sink. You will leave there full, and probably you'll end up leaving with half of the food that you've got. Guarantee you probably won't finish it, even with adding hot sauce to it. You won't be able to finish it. But you can try. It's always a challenge. But also we have, Fleet Pride here in Worcester as well. DDR Motorsports, Doug Roby Racing. And then also Doug Vine Racing, which is car number 55X Michigan. So thank you all. And also David Coing. I'm going to say his name right this time. Number 97, the Mellow Yellow car. Another Army veteran, airborne all the way, brother. Appreciate all you guys' donations and sponsors. Without you guys, we wouldn't be able to give back to the veterans as much as we want it. But with your guys' sponsors and donations, we're able to give back more than what we were projecting. So thank you. So now on to our guest, Sarah. Sarah. We really appreciate you coming on today. I know we've been playing so many tags here and there, and I know you're busy. I'm busy. Everybody's busy. James Wing got us connected. So let's hear it. Give us the background about you.
Well, hi, thank you so much for having me. And
Yes.
I'm so glad this lined up. We both have a lot going on. There's so much good to do. Like there's so much to do, and just listening to you list the support behind you giving voice to so many veterans. Like I always say, people are nothing without each other. And it really is. There's this whole ripple effect going on. It's amazing what's possible when we come together. So
Absolutely.
but hi, my name, I always do that, like, hello. I'm such a behind the scenes person, so this is fun. And my name is Sarah Lee. I'm an Army combat vet and founder of Waypoint Vets. I was in the Army/Army National Guard from 2001 to 2009. I had one deployment, February 04 to February 05 to Iraq, near Tikrit. It was FOB Spiker, that area. We also did we had a humanitarian mission in Panama, helping out building schools and things like that. I served with 3 different combat engineer units and spent a lot of the time doing job site security for them. So we got to meet the Panamanian president. It was a female, short black hair, bright red blazer, a real powerhouse. And we got to hear her speak in Panama. And then we did our 12-month tour there in Iraq. So those were my 2 campaigns during the 8 years that I was in.
Nice. And it's great that we're able to connect. And, again, even myself with 3 combat tours, technically, as I would say, it only 2, but the third one was to Arif John, where we were pulling a lot of equipment out with the 778 transportation unit. I was a truck driver. I was also a glorified chauffeur for my final year, which I tell everybody. I'm like, yep, I was just a chauffeur with a hat and drove around the high-ranking officers in the office because I was ended up getting put into the Inspector General's office, and that was fun. That was good times. So thank you for your service.
You too, brother.
Oh, absolutely. Thank you. We all respect each other. We all bond together. It's amazing that how veterans are able to, to just be able to lean on one another to be able to get through situations. Because we all know what we've all gone through. We've all been through the suck. We've been put through so many rigorous tests, not even just including the PT tests and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. I won't even go there. When I first got in, oh man, that was horrifying.
My original PT belt in basic training. Not much left of it. I'm such a nerd. What a nerd.
Well, as you're saying that, I've got this still from basic training.
Yes. Oh. That's awesome. That's awesome.
Absolutely. It's crazy on what you
You had it
actually
at the
have.
ready.
You know, it's because it's sitting right there next to me.
Awesome.
Even just like my picture from basic training, you know,
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, this was after PTRP and then going into back into basic day one, phase one, day one, week one, day one, phase one. Yeah, I got recycled because I broke my hand.
Oh,
I lost like 80 something pounds. I was
wow.
down to like 195 or so, 196. I kid you not. I got a waiver. I did height, but when they did the tape test, that's how I got a waiver for my weight because I taped everything and they got me to where I needed to be. But I lost a lot of weight.
That's awesome. Well, I don't know how tall you are, but I'm 5'11", and the taping really saved me because I'm supposed to be like 140 pounds by their standards at 5'11", and
Yep.
it's just completely unreasonable. So
I was 6'2", 6'2" and a half. Yeah. And I'm still that tall. But it's like it's crazy. I'm like, oh man, I'm not gonna be able to do it. And then the recruiter's like, yeah, we'll get you the waiver for it.
good.
So sitting in MEPS, they're like, all right, you got the waiver. When do you want to ship out? I was like, tomorrow. They're like, how about 7 days? I was like, all right, sounds like a plan. You know, I didn't want to waste time.
Awesome.
Um,
Yeah.
so, but I want to get back into talking about you and Waypoint, you know, for the veterans and stuff. It's, you know, as I got, you know, over to you, how I got over to you was through James Wing. James Wing is an individual that, dude, I gotta say he's been day one of since I've been doing the podcasting. So for like 2.5 years, I've known him.
Wow.
I've grown from having 12 followers to now having over 1,000 followers, which is amazing. And you know, I can't say without him it was like, you know, at least I'm like I got one guy. I'm like, yes, this is it. And yeah,
Yes, your OG, your ride or die, your
yes,
constant. He is
yes,
that for people. He's just an exceptional man, a
yes,
wonderful friend.
yeah. I can say
Glad he just
I can call him and be like, and just talk to him, and it's like
Yep.
he answers. No, it
Yeah.
without a doubt, you know he's answering. It doesn't matter if it's 6 in the morning or 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. I just know he will answer. You know, it's
he
crazy.
shows up too. He shows
Yes.
up as well. When he
Yes.
commits, his words mean a lot to him.
Yes.
Words matter to us a lot of times still, like a handshake still matters. So that's James Wing.
Yes, absolutely, and that's how I got introduced to you. Which because he was like, "Oh, you got to interview Sarah. You got to interview her. She's absolutely amazing, hands down." And I'm like, "All right, we'll definitely get her on." And then he was like, "Bring me all these other people too," and he was like, "Hey, I got another person for you, the tribute bike."
Yes, yeah.
I'm like, geez. And I believe his was it Ed? I think it was. Shoot, I'm ashamed myself. But I ended up talking to him and his wife and talking about the tribute bike. But as James was telling me here, like, got to talk to Sarah and get you on. So with Waypoint, I know I've done some research on it. And I follow you on your pages and stuff, and so I'm always seeing that you guys
Thank
are
you.
all. You're welcome. You guys are always on the go. You're always doing a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Can you give the viewers some of the stuff that you guys do for the veterans?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I met James Wing on one of our trips, our Middle East Conflicts Wall Memorial trip,
Yeah.
which I'll go into in a minute. But so Waypoint Vets, waypointvets.org, our mission statement is uniting and empowering veterans through camaraderie and adventure. And this all spawned from a coast-to-coast cycling journey for post-war healing that I did in 2017, 2018.
Yeah.
And that combination of physical intensity, mental intensity, only in these beautiful, serene, peaceful environments, something about that combination really delivered a clarity and healing that I did not expect at all. And the kindness that I experienced on that trip, I just thought we all hated each other, and it just wasn't the case. Like, it's just not the case. And I couldn't believe the amount of kindness and warmth I experienced, synonymous coast to coast throughout the 10 states I went through.
Yeah.
And so that all just kind of came together to inspire me to found Waypoint Vets, an adventure nonprofit in the realm of adventure therapy. So we go out there, there's an element of intensity. We need each other again to get through the day safely on some of these trips, on most of these trips. Like, for example, we're literal anchors for each other on some of our canyoneering trips, rappelling hundreds of feet off each other's body weight, and just putting that amount of trust into someone again it's very healing. And to be able to trust yourself, trust the equipment, to realize you're still physically capable of stuff that you never dreamed you'd be able to do again. All those things are so liberating, and it just kind of ignites or sparks like this rediscovery. And it's taken me 5 years to really articulate this, because I knew it worked for me, and I'm like, I can't be the only weirdo that this combination is going to make a difference for. So I'm so grateful. We've to all the veterans that have come along so far. We've helped veterans now in 46 states, I think, over the last 3.5, 4 years. We've had 27 trips stateside. Various trips, and we've had our first international trip. We designed a 9-day itinerary in Vietnam. We took 10 Vietnam vets who had the desire to go back and re-experience the country last November. So we spent Veterans Day on a rooftop restaurant in downtown Hanoi with these Vietnam veterans last year. So that was our first international trip. So we really we put a lot of heart and thought into the programming. We have mental health professionals on every trip who are also veterans, who are also searching. They get to be more open about themselves on the trips, where in their profession, they can't even share their middle name. Like, they can't, if they stub their toe, they can't say anything. I mean, it's just, they really get to be themselves on these trips and really connect with the people they're helping. So it's great for them too. It just feels like everybody wins on the trips, and the participants that come along bring so much to the trip that they would have never expected for each other and for us. So we really are all in it together on these adventures.
Wow, that's absolutely amazing that you're able to do that, and to even do an international with back to Vietnam, with Vietnam veterans. That takes a lot of heart, a lot of heart and soul to do that. And I got to say, even the Vietnam veterans, I know they probably had a lot of like mixed feelings, but also they had a great experience that they were able to go back to that country where it was like, and it's a different time period now. But they're able to see some again, like it's like World War II veterans going back to Europe for the first time.
Exactly.
It's the same thing with that, and it's we're losing so many World War II veterans. We're down to so many. I know my friend Andy Bigelow was telling me about it. We're down so much, and now we're starting to lose a lot of our Vietnam veterans. That is the same thing.
All the Agent Orange related issues it's just taking them so much more quickly than World War II vets. A lot of them lived into their 80s certainly, and then 90s, and we're talking into their early hundreds and stuff. And I've lost so many Vietnam vet friends now in their late 60s and or early 70s at this point, and it's just happening so much faster for them because of the nature of the war with the chemical warfare and things. And you're right, the trip was totally transformative for them. they had the willingness and desire to, like I said, see it again. I asked some Vietnam vets that said no immediately, and you know, it makes sense. So we made sure that the veterans that we took did have that desire, and just to receive the welcome they did, and to see how much the country has progressed and healed and moved on, really helped them move on inside, like a lot. I mean, it really, based on their feedback and testimonials, changed everything for them. After a half a century of not talking, some of them shared for the very first time in 50 years about their deployment, and they were, you know, met with Vietnamese veterans and ate with them, laughed with them. It was like out of a movie. And we finished the trip by going to the POW MIA accounting agency in Hanoi, which they have not slowed their efforts at all. Like, they're going full steam still, trying to account for these remaining veterans, and the Vietnamese are aiding in the efforts now. And our push to account for those that were lost, our MIA POWs, inspired the Vietnamese to start searching for theirs. They weren't going to. They have hundreds of thousands of MIA still. So now, like, the country's working with us. Everyone's working together to account for our fallen. I don't know. It was just such a beautiful experience. None of us expected the beauty of the land, the culture, everything about it was just it's a destination place now. People from all over the world were there. Yeah. It's stunning. It's like something out of Avatar up north, the north half of the country. So, yeah. But yeah, that was our first international trip, and the others are all stateside, with varying intensities, and to accommodate for a wide range of ability levels. Like, we have 2 women veteran retreats, and then the rest are all co-ed, and they range from canyoneering in Utah, wilderness camping out in the middle of nowhere under the stars out there, which is spectacular. It feels like you could just pluck them out of the sky. They look so close. Like, you could see the Milky Way's Milky Way. And then we do a Mount Rainier summit, which I'll never be able to do, but that's not going to stop me from, you know, planning these things for other people. And let's see, we have a East Tennessee adventure with whitewater rafting and kayaking, horseback riding, rock climbing. So it's just a really wide variety, waterfall hikes. And we're always adding itineraries too. The most recent one was that Middle East Conflicts Wall trip. Yep. So the Middle East Conflicts Wall Memorial is in Marseille, Illinois. It's about an hour west of Chicago, and so few people know about it. So few. Every year we take a group up that has never even heard about it. We take Middle East combat vets specifically. The rest of our trips are open to any honorably discharged vet. That's the only requirement, because it really is getting back to that foundation as veterans before any of it. That basic training that we got, I mean, changed everything for us. And then we went from there in our various ways. But this place, our buddies are on there. Everyone that we take has either served with or shared soil with, all of the names on that wall. And so they have etching paper and a museum next door where we've become close with their board, and they met us out there. That's the trip that James Wing went on. Yeah. So it's just a really meaningful one. And that one's for Middle Tennessee vets. The others are for any vet in the country. So we just, it's an 8-hour drive one way, and that's part of the you know, that element of suffering adds, I think it really does add to the retention of the experience and the meaning of it too, the appreciation for the experience. So all in it together in various ways.
Absolutely. I mean, what was her name was it Carol? Is it no, not Carol? Carl? Is it Carla? Carla
McPhee?
Yes.
Yes.
That's what it was. Yes, I've spoken to her. I had her on. Or
yay. Okay, yay.
Yes, her. Yeah, I did.
I just hugged her 3 days ago. I miss her.
Yes, I just interviewed her. I had interviewed her, and then her episode dropped, and you know, we even were talking about some of the stuff that is going on with the museum or something, or the wall, and so I'm like, that's not right. But yes, it's definitely, it's an experience. My next time that when I'm going out that way, I am going to be stopping by, because it's, it's stuff like that is has a lot of meaning. You know, it's just, it's again, it's seeing a lot of my brothers and sisters being on that wall or whatnot. It's like, it's a meaning, and you know, it's just a time that you're able to spend again with them, and be able to see their name. And so that's very amazing that they did that. They did that, and they have that all put up. I even have a photo of it. She sent me a beautiful, gorgeous photo of it. The way the light was, the sun is hitting it.
Was it like a sunset type time of day?
Yes.
All the way, like in all those panels.
Yes.
It's spectacular. Just all built by volunteers. The Illinois Freedom Run.
Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't have to wait 10 years. The government, they have to wait 10 years after war ends to build the thing, I guess.
Yeah.
And so they, in 2004, put this thing together. The year I was deployed. I didn't even know about it. As soon as I found out about it, I put this trip together. So I'm like, I got to bring veterans up here.
Yeah.
And every year, none of them have ever heard of it, let alone seen it. So
Yep.
it's very emotional, and they couldn't have found a more beautiful place, right on that raging Illinois River, that very calming white noise that's
Yes.
going on. So the only sound is this white noise of the river, and then the flagpoles dinging a little once in a while.
Yeah.
It's just really something.
Yeah,
And
because
everything.
it's out in the
sorry.
middle of the country. It's in the middle of the country area. It's a beautiful. I've looked it up. I had to see where everything was at, like where it was at. I'm like, it's gorgeous out here. So I can't wait to get out there. I can't.
You.
Um,
Hey, real quick on the side, can you hear my cat?
no.
Okay, sorry. You have one blooper. Just want to make sure.
That's okay. I'll leave that in. Maybe I might leave that in.
I'll leave it in. This is real life. This is real life. I'm one of those cat people. They're
I'm
super
just-
low maintenance. I'm gone a lot. But anyway, yeah.
I'm
okay.
glad my dog's not barking. I'm like shocked.
We love our animals.
We do.
Pets safe vets is like a whole thing. I mean, really,
is.
they'll never know how much they help.
It really is. It makes a big difference to even my mood having my pet. As soon as I get home, here comes Max, and then
So excited.
oh, he's jumping on two legs and trying to get up into my arms, and then he sits with me on my lap with his paws up facing towards me. Sits on the couch with his butt, and his paws just like hanging there, like, I'm like,
Us existing is enough for them, and it's just
Yeah.
the most beautiful relationship. So, but
Yes.
I was gonna say anything anyone's ever left at those panels too gets accumulated and organized into the museum right next door. I almost forgot to mention that everything in there is just like filed so perfectly, dressed, like even the littlest trinkets that meant something huge to somebody are in there and included. You can go see what other people have left, possibly for the name that you came to visit. It's just spectacular what they've done for us. I try to verbalize it and verbally quantify like what they've done every time I see them. And I just told them this last time, I'm gonna have to invent new words to properly describe like what this place means for us. We grew up watching the Vietnam vets see their names and visit their wall and stuff, and we could only imagine what that might be like for them. And now to have a place to be old enough to have even been in a war, where there's a place with our buddies on there etched in marble like that, it's so surreal.
it
The
really is.
gravity is just, oh my gosh, the gravity of it.
Yeah, it's like I can imagine just when I look at the Vietnam Wall, my whole like insides just drop. I'm like, oh, like a ghost just ran through me, and that wasn't even a war that I was in. going to this, it's gonna be even more. I know it's gonna make the feelings, even stronger, and it's gonna be like, it's just I can't even say the words until I can even come up with them, because it's gonna make that feeling a whole lot more. But it's amazing. I was able to interview her and talk to her. She definitely is, another person that has she constantly is on the go doing things. So it's amazing. And again, it's
So
just
much good going on
it
in America.
it is.
There's so much. All we hear every day is what the worst people are up to, and there's just there's just so much good stuff going on all the time.
Yes, and it's none of the good stuff comes out anymore. It's like you don't hear the good stuff that comes out anymore.
I think we're just quiet about it. Either that, or people like to say humble bragging. It's like, are you kidding? Please post the nice thing you did today. It'll only inspire more of it, and instead of the anger and those easy emotions that don't really require much effort.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
So I mean, so that's good. That's stuff that you guys are doing. So that's an 8-hour trip. Just up there. What other trips do you guys have planned for this year, probably, if any? Because I know it's getting to that end of the season, or the end of the year. But is there any other trips coming up for the 2024?
Yes, yeah. We have 3 more trips this year. The first one is our Rocky Mountain Women Retreat, and that's for female vets only on that one. It's our inaugural Rocky Mountain trip, and all the women that are coming have never been to the Rocky Mountains. I mean, encouraging travel is a big part of the vision for this, and we're taking you into Pikes Peak, Cave of the Winds, Seven Falls, just all these Garden of the Gods, these staples of the Colorado Springs area.
Yes.
And really just a couple waterfall hikes. We have a art journey with some layering of a painting or something in there. There's a lot of symbolism throughout these trips. Like the Cave of the Winds, which is, underground, subterranean. The same day we're going to be visiting Pikes Peak, the highest point at 14,411, or I'm mixing that up with Rainier, I think, which is 11,411. It's 14,000 some feet at Pikes Peak. Taking the Cog Railway up there, slow moving, best view ever, and just really, we're the last people on our list a lot of times, veterans, or just maybe just anyone who's kind of the rock for the people in their life, just the last people on our list. So, and not to get off topic, but just the fact that veterans are signing up, it's a big deal. We don't reach out very often, let alone fill out a big old form, and put ourselves out there and meet up with a bunch of strangers in places we've never been. I mean, there's a lot of bravery that goes into just signing up for something, or just being in search of something, or knowing something is off and wanting to make a little more sense of it. So, but next we'll have our Smoky Mountain Women's Retreat in just southeast or southwest of Gatlinburg. And we'll be staying in these cabins and going to Cades Cove. So there's some caves there, caverns, horseback riding, more waterfall hikes. Just immersing ourselves in nature, in the landscapes of this country that we would have died for. To experience it in such a peaceful way with our fellow veterans. It's just nice. It's a nice homage to yourself. It's a great way to honor our friends that didn't make it back, is to enjoy this country that they died for. And various parts of it with each other, and to stay close as a community. It's just important. And so our last trip is canyoneering in Utah, and we're going to be wilderness camping in the middle of nowhere, and probably no service or anything. We like to encourage disconnection and detaching from, just all that screen time, the in your face, the information overload constantly. And kind of separating ourselves from everything that's familiar, and going somewhere new with new people, and just something just happens. Something special happens for you when you do that. So I'm still trying to figure out how to. It's a clarity. It's a level of clarity that is able to come in without all that noise. And there's a lot of simplicity with our trips. You know, we have like little things about it that are very special, but they're also very simple, like our in memoriam tags and some things like that. Because I just feel like that simplicity allows for new things to come into mind, or to be able to process things just a little better, a little more streamlined, and maybe even discard some things that you're realizing just no longer serve you, that don't really have a place in your future or in your growth, and just all that stuff just kind of naturally comes in. So it doesn't even really feel like work on these trips. You don't even realize that you're putting work into your inner growth and healing. It's just naturally happening. And then of course you're surrounded by people that you can cut up with. You're like putting your life in their hands a little bit. You know, it's just really cool. It's just so natural. And it's not like to where we have an expectation for people to share. We don't sit around talking about our worst days. I mean, we're just figuring some stuff out together, and it's a pressure-free, neutral environment, which is why nature is so special. It's this blank slate that you get to fill however you need. You know, that's why it's nature's such a staple in our organization.
Absolutely, and that's again, and it's amazing that as you're mentioning, it's great that it's not even great's not even the word to use. It's amazing that female combat veterans are getting out and doing this, because a lot of people that are civilians, they may not even catch or understand that women also are combat veterans, not just men. I see things so much, and I'm always like, it's like, men are not the only combat veterans. You got to understand it's females are as well are combat veterans. People have to understand that, and men veterans are probably, I say would probably be more to not really ask to go do stuff like that, but I don't know what the ratio would be, but I don't think women combat veterans or women veterans altogether get much recognition, as well as I don't know if there's a lot out there for them to do, because it's different when it's men getting together versus women, or sometimes men and women co-ed type deal. Women sometimes tend to want to stick with other women, just do other be with the other women, going camping or hiking and stuff like that. So I kind of say it's absolutely amazing what you're doing, for the women veterans and women combat veterans.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we had to offer at least 2 trips that were just female only, and we do plan to organize one that's male only too. I just think it's with that dynamic, just different things come out or come up, and people are maybe more likely to say certain things in an all female or an all male environment than they would in a co-ed. And same with the co-ed. The co-ed environment is wonderful. Like we have women that prefer that, so we have a little something for almost everybody, I would say. So it's important, that dynamic. I only ever knew co-ed. Like our basic training was all co-ed. Like I was firemen's carrying dudes. We were throwing each other over the hurdles and stuff, and pole vault and knock. I mean, that's all I knew. But I played sports though too. So had that intramural kind of co-ed environment with that too. And I just always really enjoyed that. But on the women retreats, it's a little bit different of a dynamic, and maybe just different specific things can be talked about. There's a lot of MST gets discussed. There's more MST among males too than you would ever imagine. I didn't realize, there really is quite a bit with males, and for a long time, in the military, it was predominantly male. So if stuff like that was going to happen, it would happen to that demographic, and then as more women got integrated with the military, it was happening to them too. And Yeah, there's a across the board MST, which is military sexual trauma for those listening that aren't sure that acronym, across the board. So, and maybe in an all male trip, that might, be a little more comfortable to come up in discussion for those guys. So that
Yeah.
is on our list of something to include as an all male trip as well, because we have two female, all female, and then the rest are co-ed. So
Yeah.
the the other co-ed adventures, we have the East Tennessee combo, which is just it's just awesome. The whitewater rafting, the Ocoee River, like class 4 rapids, and then we do waterfall hikes, some rock climbing in Cherokee National Forest, and then
Wow.
we go to Iwasi and do a kayak, which is just so relaxing to offset like that first day of the whitewater rafting. And we always do the most intense thing, oftentimes the first day, because that's where that bonding happens. And
Yeah.
day 2 energy is like it's a real thing on our trips. Like day 2, like that first full day of intensity, and we have our reflection circles that
Yeah.
we have, just to reflect on the day, see how it might tie into different areas of our life and things like that, figure out where we're at and where to go from there, and just questions like that are so much easier to find answers to if a lot of different minds are contributing. And that's another important thing about our trips is just the diversity. We're extremely inclusive. We have insanely diverse trips. Just about every single branch for sure, a huge age range, every nationality, walk of life you can think of, we've had on our trips. And it's really amazing what we can learn from each other, or just learn about ourselves through each other. And so, we have some ground rules. We don't do divisive topics at all. We have like zero discussion of politics on our trips. Just stuff that can kind of sever that human connection. I don't even know how my own team votes. Like, we just never get around to talking about it. We're just like gung ho on the mission, and like just being kids again, and just taking, it's heavy work, but we have a good time and we avoid topics like that. And it's amazing what the overlap of people that are completely separate people, that with the absence of some of those topics, they really they really find that they have so much in common. So also, all our trips are substance free. We really want to give people the best chance they have to gain as much as they can in a very short amount of time. And so, yeah, we just make them substance free unless someone has a prescription, and it yields totally different results. And especially on our Middle East well, it's safer as well, because we're throwing ourselves off opinions and stuff. This is like potentially life-threatening, literally, these activities. But of course, they're professionally guided and all that. But especially the Middle East conflict wall trip, it's like I just feel these names, they're worthy of us feeling what we're gonna feel, what we're just gonna feel, instead of kind of numbing it out, or I don't know. I really felt strongly about keeping it substance free. I struggled with drinking over the years and things, so I cut back pretty recently. After starting this especially, and it's an opportunity for everyone to just really reset, like truly reset, and discover what they can gain void of substances. Like, oh, I have a natural high. Oh, I still can be sociable. I don't sound stupid when I talk. I don't need to have a shot before a conversation. Like, just little things like that, like little rediscoveries, like mini ones, happen throughout the trip.
Absolutely. And I've struggled with my own with alcohol. About a year and a half ago, I got diagnosed with stage 4 cirrhosis of the liver. It's a big change in life, but I know what it's from. I know what I did. I tried to hide all my anxiety and depression all through that, which is great that you guys do that as like zero substance, unless you have a medical thing for it, because again it allows you to feel the feelings that you have going through, and feel the natural high of all the stuff. And also, if someone is struggling with one or the other, or whatever it is they're struggling with, it doesn't advertise to them saying, hey, we have it, you come get a drink or whatnot. You know, again, that's a good thing. And I know when we're even doing events and stuff, we try it with again with no alcohol and stuff like that, no substance. You know, even though I live in Massachusetts, and it's, you know, it's legal to do it, and you can buy it anywhere. But yeah, it's zero substance. Even deep sea fishing, zero. It's the way it goes. So we are getting to that point in the show. You know, just want to follow up and get back to, you know, if the viewers are looking and they're trying to locate you on social media. You are on Facebook, which I know, but the viewers, what is the what is it? What would you call it? The tag or whatever it is. How they can locate you. I know they can do search by certain things, but also you guys have tags and stuff.
Yeah, whatever the kids are calling it, I don't even know. I think it's I think it's just URL on Facebook. Yeah, I don't know what that word's called. But if you search on Facebook for Waypoint Vets, or waypointvets.com waypointvets.org is the website, and then facebook.com/waypointvets if you just want to go directly to it and follow our adventures. Also, we are an all-volunteer organization. All of our donations go directly to our adventures. We love serving again. Serving again has saved our lives. And I do want to emphasize this is all volunteer. Our only admin costs are insurances. And it is truly our privilege. It's all veterans running this. If you do want to donate to our adventures, our website's a great way to do it, or the Facebook page has a secure donation. And if you're a veteran interested in the trips, there's the veteran sign-up form on the website. It'll say it right on the top, and the only requirement is an honorable discharge. We do have quite a waiting list. It's over 300, I'll be honest. But we do sometimes get to the newer signups based on people's schedules, ability levels, things like that. So don't hold back on signing up and securing your spot in the queue. We will get to you, and we are growing too. We just brought on 10 staff that we're training going into next year. So we'll get to you. It's amazing how the word has spread. It's always, how did you hear about us? Fellow vet, another vet. It's the ultimate compliment for us as veterans. So yeah, serving again definitely means everything about this.
Absolutely, and that's great. Again, if you're watching this, please definitely go and if you can donate to them. They definitely are an organization that you want to be able to stand behind and you know, say yes, we support them, because again, you know, the only admin cost that you guys have is the insurance, which that means pretty much 97 or so % is pretty much going right back to the veterans to be able to get them onto these trips and adventures, and to be able to have this. And you know, you're doing a wonderful job with your and all the volunteers. You know, the volunteers and you guys are doing a wonderful job with it all, because it's without having that dedication and that teamwork, as they say, the teamwork makes the dream work. It's absolutely amazing, and keep on doing what you guys are doing. It's definitely working. If you're having a wait list, or as you would say, a queue of 300 people.
Dawn keeps me up. And I also wanted to add, if you do want to donate in honor of someone or in memory of somebody, we will add their names to our tags and carry them on every trip. So our motto is honor the fallen by living, and living on their behalf, as they, you know, have died on our behalf. It's the only way we can think of to make a dent in that debt we feel we owe. It's just to choose life and to live fully on their behalf. So I wanted to mention our motto of honor the fallen by living. It means everything to us. So it's our heartbeat.
Yep, that's absolutely amazing. I can't say that enough. That's amazing. You
Well, you
aren't
as
involved.
well.
Oh,
What you built. And
hey.
you're giving me a platform to share what I've built. Like, look at
Because
you go.
this is how us veterans work. We're giving back. It's who we are. It's
Want to contribute.
I don't think veterans are the most needy people. It's I gotta say we're very content with what we have and what we are given. That's why so many vets don't even ask for help. It's like you got to go out to them and see them, and then you're like, here you go. You're not asking. I'm going to just give it to you, because a lot of veterans don't want to ask for it.
Right.
We're doing the work of our brothers and sisters, and be able to give back to them, and give back to our fallen brothers and sisters. To be able to give back to their friends and their brothers and sisters that are still here, and just leave that footprint into them. So until next time, everybody, I'm gonna have them have our guests from the other side, Beavis and Butthead, take it away and tell us what they think. It is a show that I loved when I was a kid, even though I probably should not have been watching it. But MTV was the thing back then, So until next time, everybody, thank you again, Sarah, for coming on and telling everybody your story and talking about Waypoint for Vets. So thank you.
Thank you so much, brother. Thank you for having me.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you for supporting Homeland Heroes Salute Podcast. Please make sure to like and follow Homeland Heroes on all of your social media outlets. Homeland Heroes Salute Podcast is a Foo Bar Studios Sinister One co-production.